We flash back to the year 1973. And our car tester Matas Kurat had the new VW 1303 convertible out for a spin. Now he's going to stop and open up the soft top. No sooner said than done. Experienced VW drivers can open the roof and roll down all 4 windows in 30 seconds flat. Look at the sophisticated mechanisms to lower the rear side windows. After our tester has mastered this task, he sets off again. Back to the present. The modern-day equivalent of the 1303 is the VW Beetle convertible. Matas says this is the new Beetle convertible with its 2-liter turbo engine. But since a convertible's twice the fun with the top down, he's going to open up the roof. This can be done while driving in less than 15 seconds. He thinks that's fantastic.
Noch nicht mal 15 Sekunden. Ja, super. Die Lenkung.
He says the steering is much improved, as on the 1302 model, in part due to the McPherson struts up front. Matas would prefer the steering a tad tighter, though he says it's not in any way indirect or spongy. He says it's very precise, and you can turn it exactly the amount you want, not just roughly, but really precisely. Though, for his taste, it would be a bit sportier. Many of the changes to the VW 1303 are found in the details. Take the 4-speed transmission. Matas says that, in contrast to the previous model, the gear shift has been pushed back a bit, making it easier to reach and move. In the new Beetle convertible, Matas notes that the 6-speed manual transmission also allows for very precise shifting. And he says an automatic is also available for those who prefer to keep their hands on the steering wheel. Like the manual, this dual-clutch transmission is also a 6-speed and is just as finely tuned. Matas appreciates the 1303's panoramic windshield, as it gives him a completely different sense of space than the flat windshields of previous VWs. He has a few criticisms of the new Beetle, though. The dashboard is made of a hard plastic that VW hardly ever uses in Europe anymore. Normally, dashboards here come well padded. He notes that 40 years ago, VW's 1303 convertible already had a padded dash. He's testing the Beetle convertible with the strongest engine, a 2-liter 147 kilowatt TSI. For the moment, this version is only available in the U.S., where it sells for just under $28,000. The response and acceleration of the 4-cylinder motor are stellar. Matas says the 1303 came with optional extras like this radio, a clock, and a ventilation system. The trouble these cars have with their heating is well known. In the winter, the windows fog up, though he says that won't be of much concern in a convertible, which is a fine weather car. Our tester says buyers of the new turbocharged Beetle get these nice instruments thrown in, which give the car a bit of a sporty touch. Air conditioning comes standard on the Beetle, and Matas says an optional seat heater lets you go topless even in winter. On the beach in Malibu, California, the latest Beetle convertible meets its famous ancestor, and Matas encounters his double.
Schickes Auto hast du da.
Nice car, he says.
Ist neu.
It's new.
Ja, gut.
This one
Meine
was
andere
new
auch
once
mal.
too, he
Gut,
notes.
vor 40 Jahren.
40 years
Ja,
ago.
vor 40,
Exactly.
genau.
And the
Ja,
trunk, he
und
asks?
Kofferraum. Kofferraum.
It has one,
Auch.
Matas replies.
Motor.
And the engine?
Schön.
That
Motor.
too, thank
Hat er Gott
goodness.
sei Dank auch.
Matas says,
Viel.
or else I'd have to
Ja,
push it.
dann können wir uns
The
das
two
mal
Matases
angucken,
decide to
oder?
take a closer look.
Ja, hier.
Here's the trunk, at the front where it belongs, one Matas says.
Damals in
Old
der
ads
Werbung
showed that
war
you'd had
extra
room for 4
gezeigt,
cases
dass
of
wir
beer, he
die
says,
Kisten
but there's
reinpassen.
just a first aid kit in here. He's curious if the new Beetle can hold as much.
Da geht richtig was rein. Und bei dir, mach mal auf.
His double opens the hood at the
Dann wirf mal
front,
einen Blick hier unter die
but there's
Fronthaube.
no room to put anything in there.
Da passen aber keine Einkäufe rein.
Of course, says his double, this is the engine, a turbo.
Turbo.
So, where's the cargo
Wo ist
space?
das Gepäck? Ja, das
Not in the engine, his double
ist
explains.
eben genau da.
It's
wo
in
nicht
the
der Motor
back.
ist. Kofferraum ist hier hinten.
While the opening is small,
Man hat eine etwas
he
kleine
says the
Öffnung,
trunk
okay.
holds a fair bit.
Ansonsten,
He asks, what's at the back of the 1303?
ja. Was hast du hinten? Ja, bei mir.
Matas says
ist
the
natürlich
engine,
hinten der
naturally, a
Motor.
4-cylinder
Guck mal,
boxer.
4-Zylinder
And he
Boxermotor
thinks
und
it
das
sounds
Auto.
amazing.
Unglaublich. Na, dann lass
His
doch mal
double
hören.
wants to hear it.
Ja, 40 Jahre.
Our tester says you really notice the 40 years difference between these two cars. In its day, the VW 1303 was one of the nicest convertibles around that didn't cost an arm and a leg and boasted all the extras. The present-day Beetle is more comfortable, modern, and pleasant to drive, even in bad weather. He says he always had cold feet in old Beetles, but Matas says we'll have to wait another 40 years to see whether the new Beetle will achieve the cult status of the old VW Bug.
Ob wirklich den Kultstatus des Alten erreicht, das können wir leider erst in 40 Jahren sagen.